the Comedy Crossword Podcast.
Welcome to One Down, the Comedy Crossword Podcast. My name, of course, is Brendan Eyre, and I am joined, as always, by the illustrious Greg Warren. G-Man, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing, Brendan?
Not great.
No?
I didn't know if I wanted to share this or not, but I don't know how much you know about babies, but they can't do a lot. Okay?
Yeah,
I've
heard about that.
They don't know much, and I was thinking I didn't want to put this out there. I don't want it to reflect poorly on myself or Amy's parenting.
Or most importantly, the podcast.
Sure, most importantly. Yeah. But Greg, I've got to admit it. It must be said. I got her on the app. She couldn't even do a mini.
Oh wow! Well,
yeah, I mean it was pathetic.
That's all right, man. I mean, she's only a week old.
10 days, 10
Greg.
Days, 10 days. You should be doing a mini.
I mean, Tom Griswold was struggling with the minis 6 months ago, and he's one of the smartest guys I know.
I know, but I don't think he just stared at it and then threw up on it. You know, it's like
that's a good point.
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's
a good point.
You know, I mean, at least Tom is doing some rational thinking here. She appeared just flustered by the whole business, and it's
I'd have to see the puzzle. Maybe
that's true.
Maybe it deserved to be thrown up on.
That's true. There weren't a lot of baby related items. So. You know, she has only been outside twice, so that does limit your range of things you know about. You know,
why don't you take a look at maybe starting off with maybe like High Life's magazine puzzles or something like that?
Yeah, I'll see. I'll get and
Goofus and Gallant. You know?
Sure. Maybe a word search. If she can't do a word search by week 3, that's when you got to bring in a specialist. You know, you gotta bring in one of those kind of. Whatever those, that lady Helen Keller had that really brought it to the next level.
I'm going to guess she's not available.
But booked solid?
I don't think that's the
issue. No, but everything's good, man. It is so funny because you're like, and obviously... I don't want to just be going on and on about this, but it is this weird new thing in my life. But it's so funny. You hear every new parent how tired they are, and you're like, get over it. And then you have a baby, and you're like, what is this thing doing? Someone needs to sleep. Like, what is your plan, baby?
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. I don't know what they're running schedule wise.
I think it's going to be that way for a while, from what I understand.
I do too.
I think you and Amy are up to the task. Amy is, anyways.
Amy is. Well, no, I'm doing great. I call myself Mr. Mom now because I'm doing all the housework. So that's a very dated and insulting term, but
sure.
I'm taking care of everything. Greg, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I separated laundry for the first time in my life because Amy likes the laundry separate. I throw everything in. I'll throw anything that needs. I throw dishes in with the laundry. I throw dishes in there.
I've always separated my laundry. You know what? Yeah, well, here's the thing: is I didn't when I did, but I would take it to the laundry place in New York to drop off, and I have a hunch they did not separate. I think they threw.
I asked at a laundry place. So for those of you non-New Yorkers, obviously you're going to a laundromat, and a lot of them have wash and fold services that are pretty much the same price as just doing it yourself. So that's what I always did. That's what Greg did. And Greg, I had this hat. I really like this knit cap, and they lost it. And even asking them if there was a lost and found they acted as if I had insulted their dead mother. I mean, I go, is there like anything where you keep stuff that maybe got misplaced? What?
little overly defensive about that.
Yeah, I mean, as if the very idea of a lost and found at the laundromat was foreign to them,
or an accusation. Yeah,
and it was an accusation. They lost my hat.
They stole that hat, man. They stole that.
They stole that because as I was asking, the guy was wearing the hat. I didn't mention that part of it. Yeah, he had it on. Let's jump into Monday
real quick.
I'm sorry.
Real quick. Helen Keller's teacher was Ann Sullivan. Passed away in 1936. So.
Okay, so her schedule might be pretty clear.
She's not available. I can tell you. Yeah. Passed away in Forest Hills in Queens. So.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, wow. Where was Helen Keller from? I'll tell you one thing. She didn't know.
That's just stupid. Incredibly stupid.
I think it's offensive. It's not. I don't think it was stupid.
And stupid. Yeah. And
I don't think that was stupid.
It brings down everybody's intelligence that you touch. Yeah, it's a stupid thing to say. You're a parent now. You need to grow up. She was born in Tuscumbia, Alabama. Died in Connecticut. So.
All right. Well, she's an inspiration to us all, as I've always said. Monday, January 18th. This was Jeff Stillman. The theme was European city names in America. So, of course, you've got Paris, Texas, Athens, Georgia, Naples, Florida, and Toledo, Ohio. So a fun little Monday theme, I thought,
Yeah, Brendan, I'm going to let you do all the jokes this week because they're going to be amazing. For you guys that don't know, you just cut me off. I didn't even finish what I was saying.
Yeah, I am cutting you off because I know where you're going. Go ahead.
These are guys. Brendan texted me, I think, 9 a.m. this morning, said, hey, I'm ready to go. Just got to write some jokes. And then about 3 hours later, he's ready to go. So, guys, he's been writing these are some 3-hour jokes that he's got.
Okay, let me
teed up here. These are some good 3-hour jokes. So let them roll, buddy.
No, okay, hold on.
I can't compete with 3-hour jokes.
Let me give you the facts on the matter. I texted Greg at 10:13 a.m. that I'm just getting started writing.
We're in different time zones.
Yeah, so 9:13 his time, and it's now 1:38. I've been done since 12:30. So it took me 2 hours, which is the amount of time I generally spend on the writing, Greg. And yes, you are a more experienced comedian than me. You have a sharper honed sense of what to write.
I didn't mean that. I can't wait to hear these 2-hour jokes. I'm excited.
No, it takes me that long about every time. Okay. And not to mention, boy, would I love to just jump into a puzzle and write jokes. But no, I've got to track down the theme. I've got to write who the author was. I've got to do all the prep work.
Yeah, sooner or later, I knew you were going to throw that in my face that you talk about the themes. So,
well, it's later in the week. The themes do sometimes get a little time consuming to figure out a concise way. And as you frequently point out, I don't figure out a concise way to explain them. But
you do pretty well with that. You've gotten better with that. The stories probably could be shortened up a little bit. On the front end, we don't need as much. We don't need you to set the scene for 6 hours before you get to the point. But let's get into it, man. Lay one of these 3-hour jokes.
Hey, let me tell you something. Let me just tell you something. I was getting into it before you interrupted to insult me. And I'll tell you another thing. I've got mostly bad jokes. The times when I have good jokes, it goes quickly. The long ones are when I got bad jokes, okay? So let's start one off. 56 across, city where you won't find the Greco Museum. This was part of the theme. That's Toledo, Ohio. Now, Greg, I don't know if you know this. As an Ohioan, I am, of course, familiar with this. This can often be very confusing to tourists because although Toledo, Ohio does not have the El Greco Museum. They do have the Al Greco Museum. Yeah. He was just the president of the Elks Club for 40 years.
Man, I got to get over there.
Yeah, I'll tell you. It's hard to say which is better. I'll be honest with you.
Al Greco, huh? Yeah. Man, I got to check out. Is that a big museum or is it
very small? Okay. It's actually in Al Greco's garage. Which is fun. It gives you that hometown feel.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is, a lot of these museums, they're done by a foundation. After the person dies. The Al Greco Museum, done by Al Greco.
Al did it himself. Sure.
Yeah. You can meet him right there. He'll walk you through the whole thing.
You're Al Greco. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Are you the guy in the picture there?
Yeah.
Is that your Coors Light koozie right there?
Yeah.
46 across, in keeping with the city theme. City where you won't find Virgil's tomb. That's Naples, Florida. And that is true. However, I do believe, because it's Florida, you will find a tomb for a guy named Virgil. Also, Buck and Buddy and Bubba and Cleon, they all have tombs down there.
They all have tombs. Yeah. Yeah. You and some of their tombs are just wells. They accidentally fell down drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, that well. Don't use that. That's Virgil's tomb.
Yeah.
He had a few too many Coors Light one night. We just left him down there. We had a nice service and all, but figured that's the goodest place as any for old Virg. He always did like that well. Yeah. There's definitely some Virgil's tombs down there. Now, 37 across gets ready as for surgery, and that's preps. And they prep the patient, but the doctor also preps. And if you're going into a surgery, what you'd like from your doctor, you'd like to see his prep routine to be, scrubbing in, getting his tools laid out and organized. What you don't want in terms of your doctor's prep as they're wheeling you in, you don't want to see him staring into a mirror saying, "You can do this, Phil. Forget about last time.
Yeah.
Forget about everybody makes mistakes."
Yeah, you also don't want him looking through a textbook. That's
You just wheel past the door. Did I just see Doctoring for Dummies?
5 down. Easter related. Pascal.
I couldn't tell. I think Pascal. I mean, I know pastoral is a thing. This was a word I had never heard before.
Yeah, the only time I've seen this word is, have you eaten at Pascal's in the Atlanta airport? It's like a soul food place. They have them at like 3 or 4 different places in the Atlanta airport. I recommend it. It's fantastic. It's my favorite thing about the Atlanta airport. It's the only thing I like about the Atlanta airport. Is
now,
Pascal's.
Is it Easter themed? Do they have
It's not Easter themed. They have it's a soul food place. A lot of chicken and fish and a lot of cool sides. Yeah. Pascal's Atlanta Airport. Do it.
Yeah, do it. Get there. That's one of our top sponsors. None of our sponsors pay us or give us anything, but we kind of do what we like to call sort of it's sort of guerrilla marketing.
Yeah.
It's we just give advertisements for people who don't ask us.
Yeah. Tuesday. Let's go to Tuesday, huh?
Let's go to Tuesday, because I had a really stupid joke about goats that I don't want to get into. So Tuesday, January 19th.
3-hour jokes.
Yeah, this was a friend of the podcast, Olivia Mitra Framke. Really, I thought for a Tuesday, great theme, because just tough to come up with. It was a bunch of 2-word answers where every word you could put the word cake after it. So
Right.
you had lemon yellow, hot coffee, fruit cup, white rice, and coconut crab. All a great theme for a Tuesday, I would say.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
20 across, case for small toiletries. That's in Etui, I think. Etui.
Yeah.
E-T-U-I. Etui. Etui.
Etui.
Yeah. Anyways, Brendan, I have never cared for the term toiletry. I don't like it. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, that's shaving cream. It has nothing to do with the toilet. Yeah, it's in the same room as the toilet. That's as far as that goes. That's also a toothbrush. Nothing to do with the toilet. There's only one toiletry. It's toilet paper. That's the only toiletry. You know?
And you don't bring that with you. I mean, I never have thought of this. This is ridiculous.
I hate the word toiletry. It's sort of unbecoming. It's a little disgusting. You know, it's like,
disgusting. Don't bring up
why do I
toilets.
got to think my dental floss, you got to call it a toiletry? You know?
Yeah, I keep my medicine in here, you grossy.
Yeah.
Toiletry. Now, I don't know if this was a military thing or not. My dad would always call it a ditty bag. And I don't know where that came from, but I've heard a few other people say that.
That sounds like an Irish thing more than a toilet.
It could be an Irish thing. Hey, grab your ditty bag. That's the worst accent.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. It's not an Irish person. And your dad is from Ireland. So
yeah, no, I can't do the Irish accent. 1,000% agree. I say let's get rid of the toiletry bag. And frankly, I'd be willing to go with etui.
Etui.
Yeah.
Etui.
Yeah. Sir, can you unpack your toiletry bag? Yeah, you mean my etui?
Did you just spit?
No. It's I call it a etui.
Etui? I think you just spit.
13 down. Large herbivorous dinosaur that could walk on two legs. And that's an iguanodon. And Greg, I actually was privy to a meeting of great scientific minds, and this is how that went down.
Oh, yeah?
Gentlemen, I present to you the iguanodon. With all due respect, Dr. Henry's, those are just iguana bones. No, this thing walked on 2 feet. Dr. Henry, you're holding it up. So it looks like. No, this is the iguana. You told us your iguana died last week, okay?
I was reading, there's like guys that did that back in the 1800s. They would like dig up these bones and rearrange them and say it was like an exotic thing. And it's like, no, that's an elephant. You're just like, but there's this guy that he was a St. Louis guy that did it. I got to find out. And it wound up, they sold it to like like a big museum in Paris or England or somewhere. And they were like, all right, we're just going to put this back together and what it actually is. He put like fake bones in there and he added all these fake bones and rearranged
I think I've heard of some of that stuff.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
We've found the world's largest rhinoceros. Man, you flipped that elephant's tusk upside down. That's all you did. You put a tusk on its nose. Agreed to disagree.
In keeping with the stuff that just, I don't like the term, 29 across large wine vessel, vat. That just sounds unappetizing, right? Or unappealing.
That's like a vat seems to me like where they're doing the laundry in prison.
Yeah, it seems that thing. It's where the Joker fell into. And
yeah, which looking back, someone should. I mean, I don't know where OSHA was on that one, but you can't just have a 60-foot wide pool of
right.
open topped toxic chemicals with girders above them. You're gonna get a joker with that kind of
yeah.
I've got a question for you. 38 down.
Yeah.
So blank, parentheses, sarcastic retort. That's so sue me. Now, this has come up, Greg, like 4 times.
We had that last week, yeah.
In the last 2 weeks. And it comes up again this week.
Yeah.
And I think, and every one is kind of the clue is qualified with some form of jokingly, sarcastically, facetiously. So I'm pretty sure Shorts told someone to sue him and is now really trying to backtrack on that.
Yeah.
You know, really try. Now that when you say that, it is clearly sarcastic.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're saying Shorts is dodging a lawsuit here?
Yeah, I think so because So Sue Me has never been in the crossword before, to my knowledge.
Yeah,
and now
it's coming up a lot.
Getting hit 4 times, and each one says, sarcastically, just for laughs. Don't actually do it.
I see where you're going there. It's kind of a jump, but I see where you're going.
I don't think it's a jump at all.
Well, speaking of jump, let's go to Wednesday.
Wednesday. Again, January 20th. Again, this was another collaboration. It was Nathan Last, Andy Kravis, and the JASA crossword class, which we have done one of their puzzles before. That's the Jewish Association Serving the Aging. So they run these classes in New York, and they make a puzzle, and they submit it. Now, I did a little extra research on this time around, Greg, and this is so funny to me because I'm not making this up. One of the teachers was saying, it's really hard because they do the crossword class at the same time as the bridge class. So we just have a hard time keeping students throughout the whole time. They just trickle over to learn bridge as time goes on.
Yeah, it's
and that is not made up. That was in an article.
Sure.
That was the main difficulty of the class, was that there's a competing bridge class.
And if they get bored with one day, this is a particularly boring crossword puzzle day, they just go over to bridge class. Yeah.
Well, it's probably, you know what I think it is? Because you get these older, they're widowers, and my guess is it's maybe the men that are interested in the crossword class. All of a sudden, they're seeing the hot, those hot septuagenarians over there in the bridge class.
A lot of action over at the bridge class.
What am I doing over here
Sure.
at the sausage party? This is ridiculous. But anyway, these old fellows came up with a fantastic theme, I thought. It was called the United States. And what you had was 4 answers that contained words, all of these words made up of 2 official postal state abbreviations. So mind melding, mind is Michigan and North Dakota. Match game is Georgia and Maine. Joint pain is Pennsylvania and Indiana. Wine pairing, that wine is Wisconsin and Nebraska. So great little Wednesday.
Pretty cool, I thought, and a helpful puzzle. Yeah. 24 down, brand derived from the phrase crystallized cottonseed oil. That's Crisco. Brendan, that is Crisco shortening, and that was one of my products when I worked for Procter & Gamble. Crisco shortening was, and it was a tricky product because it was not a lot of pie bakers out there. Our consumer base was constantly shrinking. Basically dying off. You don't.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because you don't find a lot of people using a lot of shortening. We couldn't make a lot of health claims with shortening. Really, the only thing we could say is, hey, At least we're not lard is what we could say. Crisco shortening. I thought I get where they got the name Crisco from crystallized cottonseed oil.
Sure.
Do you know how they got the name shortening?
How?
If you consume a lot of that product, that's what your lifespan will be.
We recommend you take it with some apple longening.
Yeah, we now we had Crisco oil as well. We had Crisco oil, and there was never a whole lot of like exciting news in that category while I was there. They tried to come up with stuff. My favorite was they were like, "Hey guys," the brand was like, I was in sales, and they were like, "Big news. We've reduced the plastic, the amount of plastic that we use on our Crisco oil bottles by 35%. So they're environmentally friendly now. And you get out there and tell your buyers." I'm like, guys, I'm in Texas. My buyer drives a 30-cylinder pickup truck, and he has deer heads all over his wall. He's not really an environmentalist. It's not.
Yeah, his car is coal powered. Okay, well, that's really interesting because I would think, Crisco, there's no competitors really. It must be the behemoth.
There's not.
But it's like,
I mean, there was a Wesson
like,
shortening, and but they were never big. And then there was lard.
Right. But it's funny. It's like, it doesn't matter if you have no competitors if the market is not there. It's like,
it's not a really huge
right
business. I mean, there's people that still use it. It's but I think it's mostly pie baking, and it's
it's really funny. It's funny the tricks they try and pull, because there's this thing in the model building community, and I like to build model cars, and there's this stuff called it's a pledge product. It was originally called Future Floor Wax, and what it does is if you use it on models, it hardens into like a really great gloss that looks like a real automotive finish. And it's a nightmare in the modeling community because they change the name and the packaging every year and a half. And so there's one guy that you go to try and find what future floor polish is actually called in your state or your country, because they just, for whatever reason, it's the same stuff, been the same stuff for 40 years, but they're like, we gotta drum up this future floor polish business. Let's call it Pledge Extra, Pledge Dura Tough. It's like, just what are you doing? No, everyone's buying it. It's fine. I'll move on.
Yeah, sorry, man. I got a little bored when you said model building community, and I would have ripped you harder, but we are on a crossword puzzle podcast, so it's not really our place to.
You play pickleball, which is old people's tennis. So let's everyone not make fun of everyone else's hobbies.
I would kill you in old people's tennis.
I can't wait to get you on the court.
Mm-hmm.
59 down, blank dash Latin. That's Neo-Latin. I'm not sure if you know what that is, Greg. That is when the priest doing the mass wears cool sunglasses.
I don't know if I get it.
I just thought New Latin, like he's cool.
Oh.
We're making Latin cool, you know?
Yeah. I was hoping that there was more of a connection between Neo and sunglasses. I was hoping Neo was a brand of sunglasses because that would have been a sort of a legitimate reason to do that joke. But just that it's new, I don't know, man. It doesn't sound like a 3-hour joke is all I'm saying.
It's more, I think, that you didn't quite know what Neo meant.
I know what Neo means.
No,
okay?
That's more the case. It was a good joke. It was a good joke. It was a one-liner. It was good. Quick hitter, I call it.
Isn't he a rapper?
Who?
Neo?
Yeah, spelled differently though.
Okay.
And he's not, I think he's kind of a R&B / rapper type guy.
Okay.
Being able to remotely work from the comfort of your home is great, but not being near coworkers at your office can lead to delays in completing projects. One way to make sure your workflow stays on track is to use Monday.com. Monday.com allows you to track work projects, collaborate anywhere, and manage your workload. With it, you can see when certain projects are complete, what your team members are working on, and when you can expect projects to be finalized. While my team has been working from home, we've been able to view all of our projects that people are working on, and it's cut meeting times and prevented projects from slowing down or being bottlenecked. On top of bringing teams together, Monday.com also knows how important it is to integrate with other services that a business might use. Monday.com works great with services like G Suite, Zendesk, Facebook ads, and more. So if you want your team to be more effective than ever, visit Monday.com for a free 2-week trial.
Support for this podcast comes from Progressive. Saving money on your car insurance is easy with Progressive. It's an average savings of $796 for customers who switch and save. In fact, customers can qualify for an average of 6 discounts on their auto policy with Progressive, including discounts just for starting a quote online or owning multiple vehicles. Get your quote online at Progressive.com and see how much you could be saving. National average annual car insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2019. Discounts vary and are not available in all states and situations.
Microsoft Teams is helping a bicycle company reinvent the way that they work.
We make bicycles for everyday riders. Once the pandemic hit, we started doing virtual visits.
All of a sudden, we could open up our showroom to customers around the world.
Learn more at Microsoft.com/Teams.
Support for the following passion comes from Lexus, celebrating the obsessions that drive us to go all in. From enthusiasts of all different spaces.
My name is Jamel Dean. I'm from Bakersfield, California, and I'm a musician. I started off playing music since I was a little kid by pulling out pots and pans. I'm obsessed with rhythm, harmony, and how they're organized to tell stories and create entire sonic worlds.
Jamel's passion for music goes beyond stringing together sounds. It's how he connects with others.
Every tone has a certain oscillation or rhythm and feeling which can change depending on the context it's in. Music is harmony, just as life.
And his advice for other musicians in the making?
To listen to as much music as they can, to write as much music as they can, and to keep doing what they're doing, no matter what.
At Lexus, they've gone all in on their passion, designing a pure sports sedan, the new Lexus IS. Designed to look as thrilling as it is to drive. Learn more at lexus.com/IS.
12 across subjects of some insurance company reports. Those are collisions. Brendan, I think you know that I've had a few. I'm not. Had some collisions driving. I'm not a great driver over the years. I've had some accidents, and and have you?
Yeah. I was so only one serious one.
But that's the thing. You and I, I had somebody tell me the other day, like, I've never had one accident in my whole life. I'm like, well, then how do you know that your insurance works? Like, at least Brendan and I know that it works, Yeah. Like if I was that kind of person that never had an accident, at least, every 2 years I'd call them up with a fake accident.
Sure, of course.
Just let them go, hey, I crashed into this building, blah, blah, blah. Let them come back and be like, well, here's what we can do. Here's them to be like, okay, guys, that was a drill. You did pretty good. That was accident practice, and you did okay. I need you to get your timing up a little bit, but I'm going to keep you guys in an insurance company because you will back me up. It turns out.
I mean, it's like those guys are like, hey, I got an 80-inch TV. I've never turned it on. Well, it doesn't matter then. You don't know what you got.
Yeah, you don't know. We know that ours works.
My one big thing was not my fault. I got rear-ended really, really hard, and everyone was fine. Luckily, when I was 18, I think 19 maybe. It was in the rain. This guy was just following too close and just smashed into me. Wasn't paying attention, and man, the collision report on that thing must have been huge win. Because that's what it must have said, because the insurance guy came to our house and my dad was sitting there. My dad's a lawyer and he was sitting there with me. And I mean, it was, Greg, it was honestly I swear it was that Seinfeld episode where they were going to offer Kramer free coffee for life and however much money, and he just goes yes at free coffee. The guy sits down at the table. My dad's like, okay, just let's hear him out. The guy goes, so I think maybe we're going to start at the value of the car, $6,000, and I just went, yes, yeah, done.
Not a negotiator, are you?
My dad just looked at me.
You idiot.
I didn't want to rip anyone off. That seemed fair.
Yeah.
The guy, who am I to complain? That car was worth nothing.
And when it was raining?
It was raining, and
it did. Now, from what I understand, the guys in the that were in the other car were named Rod and Fabrice, and they actually tried to blame it on the rain. Blame it on the rain.
Man, I never put that together. I should get royalties from that.
As a matter of fact, it wasn't even them driving. It was blame it on the rain.
Now I'd love to get your take on this because I don't like it one bit. 62 across, kind of milk, 1%. These 1%ers, they are trying to have their cake and eat it too. Okay, there's three kinds of milk, Greg. There's skim, 2%, and whole.
Yeah,
you don't. Yeah. What are you doing with 1%?
Shut up. Yeah, you could make a 1% milk, but it does. Yeah. That's
what are you doing?
Exactly. It's not a thing, man. It's not a thing. And I say that. That should be a new segment. It's not a thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just that's not a thing. Let's go to Thursday. I support you wholeheartedly.
Thank you. Thursday, perhaps, Greg. Perhaps this was January 21st. Perhaps Daniel Maurer has turned in one of the cleverest themes I've seen in quite some time. It would be a bit hard to follow if you didn't do the puzzle, so I'll just sum it up very succinctly. The theme was turn signal, and you had 8 circled squares containing either an R or an L, which represented right or left.
Oh!
So when you hit that circle, the answer either took a left or a right, and actually made sense. And it worked both down and across, and not only that, without taking the right, it spelled words. The words didn't make sense for the answers.
Yeah.
But so it was, this was a tremendous puzzle, I thought.
What a cool puzzle. So I knew that they were turning. I just didn't get the right and the left part until you said it.
Yeah, pretty neat, man, and tough to construct, I would imagine.
Oh my God, I got it. I went 5 for 7 this week with a really stupid miss on Friday.
I got them all, although
Good.
I found Saturday to be extraordinarily
Oh,
hard.
it's brutal. It was brutal. I tried hard.
Yeah.
Well, 58 down, Mugu blank pan. And that's Mugu Gai Pan. Not my favorite dish. Not my favorite Chinese dish. You know what I prefer, Brendan?
What?
Mugu Girl Pan is actually
much better.
Sure.
Yeah. And got people. I've heard people give you a hard time about that, and it's like it's 2021.
Yeah.
Okay. Get over it.
Yeah. I'm not effeminate just because I enjoy a certain Chinese dish. Yeah.
A man can eat girl pan, guy pan, it's fine.
Yeah.
I kind of throw them for a loop sometimes where I go, I'll take the Mugu no pan.
No pan. Wow.
And they go, how do you want us to make? I don't care. No pan.
Yeah.
So they'll throw that straight onto the range.
Yeah.
And it gets pretty burnt up. I don't recommend. Frankly, I don't recommend it. 20 across, where to find the Egyptian temple of Dendor with the, and that's the Met. So you can find the temple of Dendor at the Met.
Yeah.
Do you think there was at least one archaeologist who was like, wait, we're taking the whole thing?
Yeah.
The whole temple? No, man. Like I thought we were gonna get some artifact. No, brick by brick, we're taking the entire thing and we're bringing it to a museum. Guys, I don't know about this.
Yeah, man.
Seems like a lot is all I'm saying.
Okay,
it's like
I'm with you.
You can't just you can't steal a whole building from another. Take a mummy or two. I've always said.
Sure. Well, maybe you know they wanted to keep it intact. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a lot of these things are getting returned now, which is interesting.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's a big movement to return. Because we basically, the Western world sort of plundered a lot of these countries of all of their artifacts. And
right.
They're kind of now realizing, like, hey, man, give us back the Temple of Denver.
Yeah. Indiana Jones had a lot to do with that, didn't he?
He was the lead. He was at the forefront, and they paint this guy as the hero, but he was at the forefront of artifact stealing, really.
Yeah. 19 across drink with a dome-shaped lid. That's an icy. Brendan, I'm an iced tea guy in the summertime at Starbucks, right?
Not only do I know you're an iced tea guy, I know how to order your iced tea.
Right? Yeah, you do.
Ahead,
yeah. Venti, green iced tea, extra ice, no sweetener, lots of ice. The one thing I really hate, though, is every now and then they'll run out of the regular lids and they'll put a stupid dome lid on there. And I'm like, I didn't order a Slurpee. I'm an adult. I'm a grown man. We ran out of flat lids. Well, you go get some, okay? Go over to Burger King and borrow theirs. They got some.
Yeah, they got some. I don't know if they'll fit, but try it out. Put some tape across it.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I do not like a dome lid, Brendan.
You know what I go? I get an iced coffee. I go no lid.
Weird.
And they all go nuts. They think it's crazy. But I don't like a straw.
I don't like that.
I don't. Now the thing about because Greg ordered it the way Greg orders it, and the problem is now it is pretty clear the way he orders it. But what he won't say, and which I can get it right every time, Greg has to return it. What he won't say to them is, seriously, please fill it up to the top with ice.
I do say that
first.
I say that a lot.
Now you're onto that. Okay, good.
I say that
for a while. You weren't. For a while, you were just doing extra ice, and they were shorting you on the ice.
I know. I know. It's a tricky thing. It's a real tricky thing. You gotta. Here's the thing. You gotta say it firm enough where it registers, but you don't want to be a jerk where they're gonna get mad. And I don't think there's food spitters at Starbucks, but there could be.
No, there also, I will give you a little background, and this doesn't excuse it because there's an easy workaround, but I will give you a little background. The iced tea is made from concentrate, so you make a tea concentrate, and there is
Hey, Brandon, I don't care how hard they're thinking back there. I'm paying $4 for an iced tea.
I know. I'm not saying you shouldn't get what you want.
If they're concentrating, that's fine, but
Oh man,
I had to serve that one up twice to you, man.
Yeah, well,
it's pretty stupid.
I was pretty caught up in the argument. I didn't quite get it, but yes, thank you for spoon feeding me that
horrible joke. That's not that's no 3-hour joke. That's for sure.
You know what, Greg? I'd like to get a timer on you with these jokes. 44 across. Quote, get him, and that's sick.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I've never told you this story, Greg. Once a burglar broke into my parents' house, but at the time we had Bernie. He was a German Shepherd mutt.
Yeah,
great dog. He was like my childhood dog, and he was very well trained. And the burglar's in there, and I yell, sick. And he threw up.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a thing. It's sickum. It's not sick. Yeah.
Yeah. He threw up, and what he was doing was when I was training him, I forgot. He thought it was the one with the K. He thought sick. They don't know the difference, so you got to be careful. So now I always train a dog with sick and with vomit. To differentiate.
Oh yeah, I gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah, it was. The burglar was grossed out, so he left.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So it actually did work out. It was effective. It worked out. What you're saying, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing's obviously a lie, but yeah. So who cares?
Yeah. This should have been a blank instead of It's not, the answer is sick'em, not sick.
Yes, right.
Let's move it on.
Moving on. Although, real quick, gotta just mention 27 across newswoman Roberts, Cokie. I love Cokie Roberts, but at some point in job interviews, Greg, they really had to press on how she got that nickname. Just like, you must love Coca-Cola, right? Just tell us that. It's Coca-Cola's got to be the thing.
Yes,
here, right?
I love Coca-Cola. Okay, thank God, because we had it narrowed down between you and Cracky Johnson.
Cracky Johnson. And with your evening news tonight, it's Cracky Johnson. Oh man, there's a lot going on. There is a lot going on.
Random Cracky Johnson.
Yeah. Friday, January 22nd. This was a Daniel Larson, your classic no-themed Friday.
I got beat on this one, man, and it's one of those things. I think you had it last Sunday where I was sure I was like all wrong in this one area. Turns out I had all that right, and there was just one little stupid thing that I should have got. I didn't get Moshi Diane. I had it Moshi Mayan or something. Yeah, it was just a dumb error. Yeah, total shortsy fake, man. But 29 across, Big Ten powerhouse. Now that I think of it, yes. MSU, they're talking about Michigan State. I was like, no, they're not. And then they're talking about basketball. They are a Big Ten powerhouse in basketball, historically.
I felt this. Man, I'm glad you caught that because I felt the same way, and I didn't get to the basketball part.
They are. They're not they're a good football team. They're a fine football team. Good football team, but they're not a powerhouse. You would have to say Ohio State, but basketball, they are a powerhouse. So not a bad clue. I just caught myself.
Yeah. No, that's good because I didn't get that. Now, 26 across, Western City, where copper riveted jeans were invented, and that's Reno. And that was a key moment for jeans, because I don't know how much you know about denim history and that sort of thing.
No, man, I'm not a denim history buff like you.
Yeah, prior to the copper rivets, they were doing Elmer's glue.
Oh yeah,
it
doesn't make for an attractive jean, does it?
Yeah. Well, and these were originally a work pant.
Yeah.
I mean, it was horrible for these miners. They'd go down there, it'd be falling apart. I mean, this was school children's glue. They weren't even using Super's glue. So,
man,
the copper rivet, Levi Strauss came along with his copper rivet, really changed the game.
Yeah, good for. Now, is there a guy named Levi Strauss, or I always thought it was Levi and Strauss?
I believe it's Levi Strauss singular.
Okay.
I'll do a quick Google search while you entertain the listeners.
All right. I'm going to do some ham bone here. That's how I entertain listeners when Brendan's working on his slow internet.
Yes.
This isn't going to be like a 3-hour thing, is it?
My internet is so much faster than yours. You jealous son of a gun.
My internet, I'm getting the guy's coming out this week. He would have come out. I had an appointment like 10 days ago, but I had COVID, so I didn't want to do that to him. So, we're going to get it all fixed up this week. And we'll be back on the video.
Yes. Now, I'm not going to get too much into it, but it seems like Levi had some St. Louis connection. But yes, it is Levi Strauss.
One guy.
He's a German-born Jewish-American businessman.
It's a one question, man. Is it one guy or is it two guys?
Oh, sure. Deprive listeners of information. Why not? Just give them yes or no's. That's fun talk radio.
We're not on talk radio.
What's the difference? What is the difference?
Welcome back to 700-605. I'm Greg Warren with your host. I don't really have much on Friday.
I don't have much. I mean, I found Friday to be one of the toughest joke writing days we've had in a while. I will say this, a little nitpick. I thought this was just a bad clue. 42 across, test in chemistry. And the answer was hot date.
I had that as a clue of the week.
No, well, here, let me tell you where I take umbrage with that. Because a test in chemistry would be a date.
Yeah.
A hot date, the chemistry is already established in the answer.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Right. There is chemistry on a hot date.
Yeah.
I think what annoyed me a little bit, it was very clever. It was too clever because it is clue of the week material, except it's a bit like my joke writing where there's some false assumptions that you have to make in order for it to work.
Yep. False premise. Old false premise Brendan.
Yep, old false premise B-man. Saturday, January 27th. This was a Doug Peterson and Brad Wilbur collabo.
I hope those guys never work together again.
It was hard, wasn't it?
Hard puzzle. I didn't have a shot on this one.
I've got a couple of clue of the weeks. I was really pumped about getting this one, by the way.
You did. That's really impressive.
Well, you know what was garbage? I have to say. Look. The Saturday New York Times is essentially the hardest crossword puzzle in the world, right? Because it's the hardest of the week, and the New York Times is the hardest. I mean, I'm sure someone has created a harder crossword puzzle, but it's the hardest regularly released crossword puzzle in the world. But even given that, I found the southeast corner to be just so unfair, where you have 51 across, Laura Nero, 47 down, bisected by 47 down, 10 micronewtons is a dime. And then also bisected by fortification, which is bulwark, but which everyone knows the name of, but nobody knows how to spell.
I actually got that.
I got it too, but it went through many, because I was like, is it Lauren? Do I put an E there? Is that how you spell bulwark? Is it bulwark with an O? I mean, it was ridiculous, this puzzle, in terms of difficulty, I found. But
speaking of the southeast corner, 54 across, language in which hello, how are you is salutan kiel vi fartus. That's Esperanto. Man, did you know about these constructed languages?
Well, Esperanto is like made up, right?
It's like Klingon. It's a made up language. It's the most popular. It's been around for like 100 years. I'd never heard of it. I didn't know they were these languages. And a guy made it up. It's an international language. And here's the best thing about Esperanto. If you speak it, you can go anywhere in the world and have there's like you can like sleep on somebody's couch.
Oh, there's so few Esperanto guys that they've become sort of like
it's a community. They should teach that in the schools. That would get kids to learn on another language.
Yeah, great. Learn. You could. Here's your choices: Spanish, which is the second most widely spoken language in the world. Maybe Mandarin Chinese, which is the most widely spoken language in the world, or Esperanto, where you could maybe sleep on a guy in Amsterdam's couch.
I'm going with Esperanto, baby. What was the name of that video, that song that we talked about?
Despacito.
Despacito. Okay, sorry, got those mixed up. Yeah.
What does he yell beforehand? What's his name?
That's right, he yells his name.
He yells his name.
The old guy with a hat and the girl. Yeah.
It's the greatest music video. At first I was like, this is ridiculous. This has so many views, and then we watched it, and I was like, well, that should be the most viewed video on YouTube. Wonderful song, beautiful women.
Fonse! Fonse! Yeah.
Now, I got a question for you as a man who knows the grocery business pretty well. One down, sight in the produce aisle, and that's missed.
Yeah.
Is that doing anything, or are they just wetting down the lettuce?
I think it's more for effect. I don't know, man. I don't know.
You know what I mean? Because it's already picked. What do you want?
I think maybe there's some. Maybe you're supposed to keep the lettuce wet. I know, like in the real like cool grocery stores, they have like a sound effects for it. They have like thunder.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, they have like thunder at the Kroger in Lexington, Kentucky, and the mist comes out. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh wow! I tell you what, they don't like. Don't take off your shirt and do a little quick shower there.
Yeah, they don't want that.
They frown on that.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that I thought was great to hear, just 38 across, Yellowstone traffic halters. These are bison. Was the answer, and just. After the massive depletion and overhunting of buffalo in this country, it's great to see that one of our great national parks, Yellowstone, is doing their part, and they're getting these guys jobs. They're out there in their high vis vests and they're directing traffic. And I just think that's something that community needed. Greg.
Yeah, you're right, man. Yeah, If everybody needs a little bit of self-worth. Yeah.
Yeah. If this was an animated podcast, that would have been a good joke because it's all based on my...
Yeah, it would have been a nice Far Side cartoon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. It was very much based on a picture in my head of a traffic halter, but instead of...
We'll let the listeners tell us, but I'm going to hunch as a verbal joke, probably a B-.
Hey, pretty good. I'll take it. Man, B-.
B- is good. It's just not a 3-hour type joke is all I'm saying.
Didn't take 3 hours.
18 across, Grammy winner with the surname Adkins. That's Adele. I didn't know that. And I also learned that Trace Adkins never got a Grammy.
Robbed.
I would say so.
Yeah. Highway robbery.
Yes. Absolutely.
I don't know how I knew that. I put that in right away, and I think it was just a kind of a guess. It just seemed right, but it's probably one of those things I heard at some point and just forgot, but my brain knew it. I don't know. I'd like to propose 2 clues of the week to you.
By the way, Trace Adkins didn't win a Grammy, but was shot by his second wife.
It was a sort of a close to a Marvin Gaye type situation. Right? Wasn't he shot by his father or something?
I think I did hear that. Yeah, I think I heard that. Yeah.
If you're going to be shot, you do want it to be a family member, I think. Just because then you can work it out a little easier.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, man.
Yeah, actually, in hindsight, now that I'm thinking that through, if you're going to be shot, not a family member.
Yeah, I would say so. I just assume nobody gets shot, but...
I'm not going to go out on a limb like that. Not in today's cancel culture.
All
right. 23 across, offer sheet, hit list. I'm saying clue of the week.
Clue of the week, right there. It's done.
Yeah, let's call it because that was so good. It took me a while to figure out, man.
Yeah,
that they're saying offer. Someone who offs people. So hey, Doug Peterson, Brad Wilbur. Gentlemen, welcome to the club.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the Continental Sky Miles. This is the one down clue of the week. Honk, honk. Welcome aboard, boys.
Good job, guys. That was outstanding. Yeah, that was
Continental's not even a airline anymore.
I don't even know what. Yeah, you got all mixed, and then you mixed it up with Sky Mile. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was a mess.
Yeah.
That was now we ought to get on it Sunday. If anything, to cleanse our palate of that rotten call I made. Sunday, January 24th. This was a Lucy Howard and our boy Ross Trudeau. The title was Sugar Sugar. And it was answers that are completely comprised of candy. Kind of cool. So, for example, the clue would be a young Justice Ginsburg chuckles, and the answer would be Baby Ruth Snickers. There's something about a dork calling his dad, more or less, and the answer was nerd rings pop, nerds ring pop. You know, and then you had Crunch Now and Later, 7 or 8 of those. Pretty cool.
What was your favorite candy mentioned in this whole thing?
My favorite candy, in terms of, I guess, eating wise, Snickers. I like a Snickers. I like a Mars bar too. They make Mars.
Mars, is that almonds? Is that what that is?
No, I don't think. Oh, you know what? No, I'm gonna rescind all of that. I love Whoppers.
I was going to say the same thing. I'm a big Whopper fan.
I love Whoppers.
I don't have them that often, but Whoppers are really good. Man, I remember going to this meeting one time when I worked with P&G, and they had these Whoppers that were like twice the amount of chocolate on the outside. It was one of the best things I've ever eaten, man. And I haven't had Whoppers.
Double-coated. You're talking double-coated Whoppers?
Like probably triple coated, man. It was just amazing. It was so – I mean, this guy, Jerry Hale, who was in the paper division, he was like a boss. And, you know, I was a young guy, and I was talking about him, and we kind of bonded over that. I remember he's like, man, I like those things too, you know?
Yeah. I don't know what malted milk is, but I'll tell you this: they're not using it in enough stuff.
Nah,
because it's delicious.
I think you shouldn't overuse it. It's a special thing.
Okay.
Someday I'm gonna have a party, Brendan. I'm gonna have a party, okay, and you're gonna be invited, and we're gonna serve Burger King Whoppers.
Yeah, love those.
Whoppers candy for dessert.
Yes,
and everybody's gonna lie that's there.
Yeah. Well, hey, let me tell you something. I don't have a problem doing any of those 3.
Welcome to Whopper. Yeah. Whopper Fest.
Party, Greg. That's a Wednesday for me. 53 across, elusive legend. That's Yeti. I find it's always considerably easier to be elusive when you don't exist. That always helps things. Hey, you know who I can never get a hold of? Count Chocula.
Guy really? Yeah.
I think he's ducking my calls.
Yeah.
Yes, the Yeti is elusive. There's no such thing.
You're gonna upset some people with that one.
Yeah, well, maybe there is a Yeti. What do I know?
81 across dinner table expander. That's a leaf. And we had one of those. We had a dining room table, and for Thanksgiving, we'd get the leaf out.
Sure, get the leaf out.
Make it bigger. Yeah. You think ever somebody's like, no. It's like, hey, we're getting the leaf out for tonight. He's like, oh, we having company over? Nope. I'm just tired of looking at you. Like,
nope, just need a little personal space. Harold.
Yeah. I hate how you chew your food.
Yeah. Or doesn't even bring it up, and Harold just shows up for dinner and the leaf's in.
Yeah.
Wait, are your parents coming over tomorrow or something? Nope. Nope.
No, I was watching that Batman movie with Michael Keaton and Kim Basinger, and I decided that I wanted to be like that with you. Yeah.
109 across, AC spec, and that's BTU. Asterisks here. Please don't bring up the lack of AC in my car, Greg. Stop. No, my car AC doesn't work. My car sucks. Okay, get out in front of Greg.
I don't know, absence of.
Yeah. Well, guess what? You know what's worse than the AC not working?
What's that?
The heat's broken now too, so that's worse. Because at least in the summer you can roll down the windows. So it's a whole
you can roll down the windows and have hot wind blow in your face. It's not. Didn't help. Yeah,
but besides the point. Now the AC spec. This is BTU, and BTUs are a big deal for me, Greg, and they're not helpful at the store. They aren't helpful because here's the thing. I run hot. I run hot. I like it ice cold, and you go to buy a window air conditioner unit, and I go, what's the BTUs on this thing? Every single time. How big's the room?
Yeah.
No, I don't want that involved. Tell me the BTUs. I don't, because I've used your calculations before, and they don't work for my heat levels, okay? It's always, you got a 10 by 12 room, you need 300 BTUs. Yeah. No, I need 900 BTUs. Yeah. Don't tell me what BTUs I need based on the size of my room. I want to be able to select the BTUs of my choosing.
Well, here's what I'm going to ask. I mean, you left New York, you live in Cleveland. You don't have window units anymore, do you?
Oh, we will. Yeah, we will. Because we live in a really nice old house, so it hasn't. It's like
you don't have central air.
No, it's 100-year-old house. It's really cool architecturally, but yes, it does not have central air. But actually, we moved in August. We found we really didn't use it's in this kind of shaded corner of the street, so it doesn't get too hot. But yeah, it's
not coming over. I can tell you that.
Weren't invited, tell you that.
I think that'll wrap it up. I think that'll do it.
That'll wrap it up.
Yeah, that'll do it. Thanks so much for listening, guys. We really enjoy doing this. If you have a chance, tell your friends about the podcast. We'd like to spread the word. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. Don't spit.
One Down is hosted by Greg Warren and Brendan Eyre, produced and edited by John Baldwin. Our theme song is written and performed by Henry Phillips. Executive producers Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly for the Laugh Button Podcast.
One Down, the comedy crossword podcast.
Hey, my dark darlings. Hopefully, you've been enjoying our latest videos. We're a small crew here at Something Scary, so we have to make sure that the work that goes into our episodes gets done in order and on schedule. So that's why I want to tell you about our sponsor, Monday.com. Monday.com is an online teamwork platform that keeps your team connected from anywhere. I really enjoy the visual ease of using Monday.com. It helps banish the demons of confusing email chains or who's doing what and by when. It helps make sure everyone is aligned and on the same page. One of the things that I enjoy the most about Monday.com is that it's customizable, so it feels like it could fit any type of collaboration or industry. Build confidence within your team and reach every goal with ease. Visit Monday.com to start your free 2-week trial.